Hey everyone, this is Finding Value, or Andy. I just want to go over some assets and talk about risk. The risk of stocks, the risk of bonds, the risk of paper assets, and precious metals. So I'll jump right into it. So I'm going to go over the Exter Pyramid. So John Exter, I'll give a quote here. The U.S. and world economies are on the threshold of a deflationary crash that will make the 1930s look like a boom. Gold will be the single best investment to own. Buy it now while it's still cheap. And Exter, he's an American economist, and he's a former member of the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve. And this quote was probably in the mid to early 2000s. So he saw what was coming, and his opinion is to jump into gold. And Exter, we can look at his pyramid here. So what it is, this is lower risk of default, or vice versa, higher risk of default as you go up this pyramid. So you've got derivatives and unfunded government liabilities, non-monetary commodities. There's real estate here in the purple. Listed stocks, this is what people perceive to be somewhat safe. It's only in the middle of the pyramid. Then you've got government bonds and treasury bills. And then you've got paper money, which everybody thinks is really safe. But when you talk about precious metals, everyone says, well, that's a risky, you're taking on a lot of risk when you invest in precious metals. Well, according to this, and according to history, gold is the least risky asset of any asset there is on Earth. Because if you go through here and you look, these can go to zero quite easily. These can default. You can default on real estate. You can default on commodities, and commodities can go to zero throughout history, certain commodities. You've got all sorts of bonds. Bonds have all gone to zero in history. Treasury bills have gone to zero. And then you've got paper currency. And every single paper currency has gone to zero. Every single one. Gold, on the other hand, has never gone to zero. So the risk is holding these other assets. Gold is the thing that everyone runs to if they have problems. So keep that in mind, that precious metals is kind of the safe haven that everyone makes it out to be, and it is a safe haven because it never goes to zero. It is the one that has zero liabilities. And if you look at paper dollars, what do they say? It says a note. A note is debt. So paper money and everything above it is all debt. It's a promise to pay something back in the future, or it's something where it has a high probability of defaulting. Like stocks or companies can easily go bankrupt. Here's another view of Exter's thing, and it's just saying how much money is out there in the shadow banking system. It is gigantic. And all of this value, if it starts to default and move, will try to run towards something that's safe. And the safest asset is precious metals. Here's investable assets as a percent. That's in portfolios. Most of it is fixed income and equities, like bonds and equities. But way here on the right is gold. It's only 0.5%. Very small. And over time, you can see back in 1980, this was a peak or a top, 2.75% of assets. And right now we're 0.5% or so, very low. This is gold priced in other currencies. We're very American-centric, US dollar-centric. But what does it look like in other currencies? And in other currencies, if you step back even before this, and I have a slide after this one, they're all going up. Gold's going to go up against all these currencies. And since 2000, and all these different currencies here, gold is outperforming. It's doing exceptionally well. Thank you for your time.